Did you know it takes over 2 million oranges a day to keep up with our juice habits? That's what those massive harvesting machines are collecting in Florida's orange groves right now. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how those oranges travel from tree to your breakfast table, including some factory processes that might surprise you about your fresh morning OJ. Stick around to see why the juice industry doesn't always want you to know what happens behind those factory doors. If you're enjoying the journey, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more cool behind-the-scenes videos. Ever wonder which oranges make it into your morning glass? Not all oranges are created equal when it comes to juice production. Those bright, perfect orbs in the produce section aren't usually the same varieties that end up in your juice container. Commercial juice production relies primarily on Valencia oranges for their juice content and sweet acid balance, with a blend of Hamlin oranges to maintain consistency year-round. This combination creates that distinctive orange juice flavor we all recognize, similar to how coffee companies blend different beans to achieve consistent taste despite seasonal variations. Now, let's journey to the groves where these specialized oranges are nurtured. Florida has historically been America's orange juice powerhouse, but the industry there is facing serious challenges. Since 2005, Florida's orange production has plummeted by a staggering 75% due to devastating hurricanes and a bacterial disease called citrus greening. This disease, spread by the Asian citrus psyllid, prevents fruit from ripening properly and eventually kills the trees. As Florida's production declined, Brazil stepped in to fill the gap, now producing more than twice the orange juice that Florida does. Growing the perfect juice orange begins with meticulous soil preparation. Farmers plow their groves thoroughly, creating proper ventilation for tree roots and removing competing weeds. This initial investment is worthwhile, since an orange tree can produce fruit for up to 50 years if properly cared for. Innovative techniques, like tailored micronutrient blends, have become essential to combat citrus greening and rejuvenate established groves. These specialized formulations help strengthen the tree's natural defenses while providing essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that enable orange trees to thrive and produce optimal juice content. When harvest time arrives, there's a fascinating contrast between traditional methods and modern technology. In smaller operations, workers hand-pick oranges like careful artisans, gently placing them into collection bags strapped across their bodies. A skilled picker harvests about 900 pounds of oranges daily, preserving the integrity of both fruit and tree. Meanwhile, large commercial operations function like a high-tech orchestra with machines such as the Oxbow 3220 harvester. This impressive vehicle straddles orange trees, using a shaking system that vibrates fruit loose before collecting it on catching frames. These mechanical giants can collect up to 1 million pounds of fruit daily, equivalent to over 1,000 hand pickers, transforming what was once entirely manual into a sophisticated operation meeting global demand. The harvested oranges travel via goat trucks to collection points, where they're unloaded into enormous containers called gondolas. Each gondola holds about 120,000 oranges, enough to produce around 900 gallons of juice. These bright orange mountains create an impressive sight at collection stations. Despite this mechanization, quality control remains paramount. Growers test oranges regularly for sugar content, acidity, and juice yield, harvesting only when these factors reach optimal levels. Picking too early results in sour juice, while waiting too long means less juice per orange. This careful balance of efficiency and quality ensures that whether hand-picked or mechanically harvested, the oranges in your morning glass deliver that perfect, refreshing flavor. The real magic begins the moment those gondolas arrive at the factory. Each massive container tips its load onto industrial-sized conveyor belts, sending a river of orange across the factory floor. The sheer scale is impressive. A single gondola holds enough fruit to produce about 2,700 gallons of juice. But before a single orange gets squeezed, the testing begins. As these vast loads of oranges cascade onto the factory floor, the quality ritual begins with remarkable efficiency. Technicians swiftly channel random 40-pound samples to an on-site lab where the bricks level, color, and overall integrity of each batch are examined. They're looking for that sweet spot above 11.5% sugar content, which earns those oranges a premium destination. Concentrate production. The technicians focus on sweetness, color, overall quality, and juice yield potential. Their system sorts fruit with precision that would make any perfectionist proud. Some oranges get fast-tracked to become the premium single-strength juice you might buy in the refrigerated section, while others are directed toward concentrate production. This initial sorting process explains why your orange juice tastes consistent all year, despite nature's natural variations in the fruit. Ever wonder how these inspections guarantee a consistently perfect sip? Watch how the oranges continue their journey along conveyor belts toward what can only be described as a citrus spa treatment. Unlike the quick rinse you might give your fruit at home, these oranges get the full works. First, they're showered with a specialized water and alkaline solution that starts breaking down any surface contaminants picked up in the grove. Next comes my favorite part. Check out those spinning brushes. They tumble each orange along, removing everything from dust and dirt to agricultural residues clinging to the peels. This cleaning stage serves as a critical food safety measure that prevents contamination from affecting the final product. With thousands of clean oranges moving along the conveyor every minute, quality control might seem impossible. But those inspectors stationed along the line have eyes trained to spot any fruit that doesn't meet the standard. They remove oranges showing signs of damage, decay, or imperfections. It's surprisingly low-tech within this high-tech facility. Experienced human eyes still make the final call on which oranges continue the journey. The quality inspection continues as the oranges encounter a bed of tiny sharp pins. This clever system punctures the peels, releasing essential oils that are collected separately. These oils become a valuable byproduct used in everything from flavoring to perfumes, ensuring nothing goes to waste in this process. See how the oranges continue moving toward that extraction equipment just ahead. The anticipation builds as the clean, sorted fruit approaches the machines that will finally transform them into the juice you recognize. The factory floor maximizes efficiency, with each orange following a predetermined path from arrival to processing. The speed of this entire operation stands out as particularly impressive. From the moment an orange is picked from the tree to when it's bottled as juice, the entire journey takes just 24 hours. The orange juice you enjoy with breakfast was likely still hanging on a tree somewhere in Florida or Brazil just a day before processing. This rapid timeline preserves the natural flavor and nutritional value that might otherwise be lost, delivering that fresh squeezed taste directly to your breakfast table each morning. With those clean oranges making their way down the conveyor belt, we've reached the moment of transformation, the extraction process. This is where industrial alchemy turns whole fruit into liquid gold. The battle between yield and quality unfolds right here, where engineers face a fascinating dilemma: extract every possible drop of juice or preserve the purest flavor profile. These specialized juice extractors operate at mind-boggling speeds, processing up to 800 oranges every minute. That's 13 oranges being juiced every second. Your home juicer would need an army of helpers to match a single commercial machine. Let's explore how these extraction methods work. In one common approach, oranges are sorted by size and fed into extractors, where each fruit is cradled individually. The machine precisely slices each orange in half, then presses these halves against a twisting, cone-shaped reamer, extracting both juice and pulp in one swift motion, similar to your manual juicer at home, but exponentially faster. The alternative method employs metal prongs that crush oranges with calculated force. This creates enough pressure for juice to flow through specialized channels while simultaneously separating peel and pulp. This approach maintains continuous flow for high-volume production without stopping between fruits. The method chosen dramatically affects what ends up in your glass, like striking the perfect chord in music, where every note must harmonize. Push extractors too hard, and you'll gain more juice yield, but extract bitter compounds from peel and pith, giving the juice an unpleasant aftertaste no sugar can mask. Extract too gently and valuable juice remains behind with each orange, costly when processing millions of fruits daily. Operators monitor pressure settings and extraction times, walking a tightrope between maximizing output and maintaining quality. The best develop an intuitive sense for adjusting machines based on each orange batch's specific characteristics. Pulp management forms another crucial part of the extraction process. During crushing, pulp separates and collects in large metal drums, a valuable resource carefully managed. Just as a chef decides the perfect garnish, operators adjust pulp levels to craft the precise consistency desired by every consumer. This system allows manufacturers to create different product lines from identical orange batches, from no pulp to extra pulpy varieties. The collected pulp undergoes quality control checks and can be reworked for uniform consistency before being reintroduced to juice batches. This attention to detail explains the consistent texture in commercial orange juice, despite natural variations in fruit. Extraction happens in environments where temperature plays a crucial role. The rooms maintain specific temperature ranges to preserve volatile flavor compounds. Even a few degrees too warm can cause these delicate components to dissipate, resulting in flatter tasting juice. The extraction area operates like a choreographed dance, conveyors bringing cleaned oranges, machines extracting juice, systems managing pulp, and quality specialists monitoring everything. Whole fruit transforms into flowing juice in seconds through industrial scale application of the same principles you use squeezing oranges at home. Florida maintains its position as America's orange juice powerhouse through specialized infrastructure developed over decades. The state's processing facilities handle specific varieties grown there, containing higher juice content than eating oranges. This extraction expertise, combined with specialized orange varieties, allows Florida to maximize juice yield from every fruit despite declining crop yields. With pure, freshly extracted juice in hand, the next challenge is preserving that vibrant flavor just moments after squeezing. This is where manufacturers face their biggest decision: preserve that just squeezed taste while extending shelf life, or concentrate the juice for efficient storage and transportation. It's a choice that completely transforms what ends up in your glass, and it all began with a breakthrough innovation in the 1950s. Let's enter the processing area, where massive tanks hold thousands of gallons of freshly extracted orange juice. The clock is ticking. Raw juice begins to spoil after just a few hours at room temperature. That's why Anthony Rossi and his team at Tropicana developed a revolutionary process that changed breakfast forever: flash pasteurization. As our processing expert emphasizes, this breakthrough once revolutionized breakfast routines, making fresh-tasting orange juice available year-round. The specialized heat exchangers rapidly heat the juice to exactly 185 degrees Fahrenheit for a brief moment, just long enough to eliminate harmful bacteria, before immediately cooling it to 35 degrees Fahrenheit. This temperature control prevents the juice from developing a cooked taste while preserving its fresh characteristics. Flash pasteurization was a groundbreaking innovation, enabling the commercial sale of fresh orange juice without relying on concentration, which was the standard practice at the time, explains our processing expert while pointing to the gleaming equipment. This creates not from concentrate juice, the premium product that tastes closest to fresh squeezed. Look at the alternative path some juice takes through the facility. For concentrated juice production, the freshly extracted liquid enters those tall evaporator columns. The process removes about 80% of the water content, turning 10 gallons of juice into roughly 2 gallons of thick, intensely flavored concentrate. This concentrated form gets frozen solid for storage and shipping. Removing most of the water makes the product much lighter and smaller, cutting transportation costs dramatically. A single tanker truck can carry the equivalent of 5 trucks of regular juice. A huge advantage when shipping juice across continents. When creating the final product, manufacturers reconstitute the concentrate by precisely adding back the same amount of water removed. However, concentration strips away many volatile compounds that give fresh orange juice its distinctive aroma and flavor. Flavor packs, carefully formulated mixtures arriving in small containers, replace these lost compounds, ensuring consistent taste regardless of season or source. The processing method impacts more than taste. Flash pasteurized juice generally retains more of its original nutrient profile, particularly heat-sensitive vitamins like vitamin C. The concentration process, while efficient for logistics, leads to some nutritional losses, along with changes in flavor complexity. In the quality control lab, technicians constantly monitor each batch, testing everything from acidity levels to vitamin content. Their goal is consistent quality regardless of processing method. Shelf life varies dramatically between these products. Flash pasteurized juice typically lasts about 60 days when refrigerated, while concentrated juice remains shelf-stable much longer, especially when frozen. Manufacturers have been balancing this trade-off between freshness and convenience for decades. Both types of processed juice move toward large temperature-controlled holding tanks that maintain ideal conditions until packaging. Every environmental aspect is carefully regulated, from oxygen exposure to light levels, to prevent quality degradation. The visual difference between these products isn't obvious to consumers. Both appear as bright orange liquid in your glass, but what happens in this processing stage fundamentally changes their composition. When you see "not from concentrate" on the label, you're looking at juice that followed that flash pasteurization path. Regular 100% orange juice typically means it went through concentration and reconstitution. From processed juice flowing through pipes to the bottle in your hand, there's a hidden manufacturing marvel most consumers never witness. Those plastic orange juice bottles don't arrive empty at the factory. They're actually born right beside the juice they'll eventually contain. The factory we're visiting creates its bottles on site using an ingenious process called blow molding, eliminating thousands of miles of empty bottle transportation. Imagine a ballet where every bottle is born on site, transforming from a small preform into the familiar container cradling your juice. These preforms, small test tube-shaped pieces, represent the embryonic stage of what will become your familiar 14-ounce orange juice bottle. This system streamlines the entire packaging operation. Instead of shipping bulky empty bottles, these tiny preforms require minimal storage space and transform into full-size containers on demand. The blow molding machine grabs each preform, heats it with infrared light until pliable, and positions it inside a bottle-shaped mold. A burst of high-pressure air then expands the softened plastic outward until it takes the exact shape of the mold cavity. In mere seconds, a small tube becomes a perfectly formed bottle, ready for filling, dozens taking shape every minute in perfect synchronization with juice production. Before filling, each freshly formed bottle passes through a specialized spraying machine for thorough cleaning. This critical step removes any residues or contaminants from the molding process, meeting strict food safety regulations to preserve juice quality. The main event follows, filling these pristine bottles with flash pasteurized orange juice. The filling machine dispenses juice in stages, while bottles are held securely by their necks. Integrated sensors and cameras ensure every bottle meets strict fill and safety standards, identifying any problems, leaks, loose caps, or irregularities, ensuring only perfect products continue down the line. The labeling machine applies labels with remarkable accuracy, marking each container with essential product information, expiration dates, and batch numbers. These details allow the company to trace any bottle back to its exact production batch, giving each bottle its own unique identity. With labeling complete, bottles are grouped into packs and sent through a shrink tunnel where heat causes plastic wrap to contract tightly around them. These compact packages are stacked onto pallets in precise patterns to maximize stability. Robotic arms wrap cellophane around each completed pallet, providing a final layer of protection for shipping. Temperature control remains crucial throughout distribution. The freshly bottled juice is loaded onto refrigerated trucks that maintain optimal temperatures during transport. This unbroken cold chain is vital for maintaining freshness and extending shelf life. The logistics network operates with remarkable efficiency. Regional distribution centers receive pallets and quickly route them to individual stores based on inventory needs. The entire system prioritizes speed, ensuring minimal transit time before reaching consumers. This final journey from pre-formed to perfectly labeled bottle ensures the vibrant juice you pour each morning is nothing less than a marvel of modern manufacturing. What makes this packaging and distribution system fascinating is how it balances product quality, efficiency, and cost control. Every step has been refined through decades of experience, creating a seamless flow from raw juice to packaged product to your refrigerator. From grove to glass, orange juice represents an industry constantly evolving to meet modern challenges. Farmers employ precision harvest timing to ensure year-round quality, while many producers embrace organic methods that reduce chemicals and protect wildlife habitats. These sustainability innovations secure the future of orange juice despite ongoing threats, ensuring this beloved beverage continues to thrive. Every time you pour that glass of orange juice, consider the decades of expertise and care that make it possible. If you're fascinated by the hidden stories behind your favorite foods, subscribe and join us on our next exploration of the remarkable human ingenuity behind everyday delights.